Welcome to Photosynthesis. I'm Nessa, and these are my verrucosum plants. This one's Thames melanochrysum. I'm going to talk about my experiences on Etsy ordering these three verrucosum and then the one Thames melanochrysum. I'm also going to probably share some things that I've experienced with these three plants since May, and it is now October. The verrucosum really caught my attention, just like the Calathea or Bifolia. That is so hard for me to say. I always want to say phobia, like a fear, but that's not how it's spelled. Anyway, or the Japortia. I don't even know how to say that either. On May 7th, 2020, I purchased from the Laughing Tiger Company on Etsy a Philodendron verrucosum variation rare live cutting. That's the name. May 10th, this plant was packaged and it shipped out to me from Florida, and it arrived on the 13th, so it only took a few days. When this cutting arrived, it arrived in a beautiful package. A pristine package. So it had a nice hard like plastic cup along with a bunch of like soft Christmas snow. Don't know what else to call it. It was like really wrapped, as you'll be able to see in the clips that I took on my phone, and I was really happy with it. It was really beautiful. It was a nice leaf. It looked just like the picture, so I knew that it did have some like grapes and whatever. I don't know if those were like bacteria. Okay, so this is another thing as a new plant parent. I haven't figured out yet the difference between fungi and bacteria. This particular one, I try to plant it right away into soil when it came, and the leaf was already kind of, as you may have seen, it was kind of a little ooh. I don't know what I was thinking. For whatever reason, at the moment I was searching up this plant, it was really hard to find. So I found this and I was desperate to get it, so I got it. And it's really pretty. But the leaf that it came with looked a little, I'm not sure what was going on with it, but it lasted for a really long time. I think up until last month it was fine, and then it was done. It used all its energy. At first, I tried to plant it into soil, into a 4-inch pot. Now, it was a cutting with a very tiny amount of rooting happening, and I shouldn't have done that and put into a lot of soil, and I didn't know about like aeroid, chunky, airy soil, so it just didn't do well, and it needed a lot more water than I was giving it after being in water for so long, and then it also needed, yeah. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll put it back into water. It did wonderful. And I don't know how long I had it in water, but until the roots looked a lot more established. And then I also purchased from a very like well-known shop on Etsy, Botanicaz, and I bought the two plants back here together. Yeah, I bought it 2 days later. They are way cheaper than the cutting that I bought, and they both came in, well, the melanochrysum Thames verrucosum came in, I'll show you clips as well. I purchased the two back here on the 9th of May, 2020, and they were shipped out on the 12th of May, and they arrived on the 15th of May from Washington to Southern California. The packaging, I think these two shops were the best packaging. Also, Toulousa's plants, I think in Florida, I think that's a popular nursery. That packaging was really awesome too. I don't know if I've talked about my Alocasia regal shields. Probably not. I don't think I have. These two plants were packaged, or three plants were packaged so well. So the two shops, Botanicaz and Laughing Tiger Company. I didn't finish unpacking these two plants. I'll show you as much as I can, but the verrucosum Thames melanochrysum had some springtails that popped out and that freaked me out, and I removed all the soil. It's kind of like fungus gnats. Springtails, ugh, they jump. So what am I saying? I'm just thinking about the bug. So I took the verrucosum that I got, which was like super affordable. They weren't like Instagram ready for pictures, but they came and they were affordable, and they've been growing, which is excellent. The first leaves on both of them are gone, but they've grown a lot. The melanochrysum, verrucosum Thames melanochrysum, has grown a lot. It's so quickly. My experience with the verrucosum was interesting because they were both kind of like cuttings. I should have left the other in sphagnum moss from Botanicaz, but I didn't. I was afraid because of the springtails. I was afraid, what if there's other pests in this sphagnum? So I threw it out and I just put it in water. I was so fortunate enough to be able to participate in Legends of Monstera. If you watch Jimmy, he's amazing. He has really awesome videos, and he shares a lot of different like plant enthusiasts and lovers and people on his channel as well. So that's really, really cool. I'm going to show the clip that I made for him, and then I'll also link the video down below so you can check out the video if you're interested in more about verrucosum. This is my philodendron corner, and I have 2 philodendron verrucosum cuttings. I found both of these cuttings on Etsy, and this one here is a lot more established. I'm going to be potting this one soon, and then this one here needs a little bit more time. I try to pot it up too quickly. They're right next to a south-facing window, but there's a large tree right in front, so it's not like too sunny. Right now you can see in the background the temperature and the humidity. I'm actually raising the humidity as we speak, so that it's around 60 at least for these. And right now I just have my rooted cuttings in these green apothecary jars so that they continue to root and grow, and because this is my first sort of experience with this plant, and I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me be a part of the Plants of Instagram verrucosum. Can't wait to see everybody else's. I'm so excited. I waited for them to root a lot more, and then I put them in sphagnum moss because I'm like, okay. After they were in sphagnum moss, they grew and grew. I made sure to keep the sphagnum moss moist. Humidity 60%. I try and keep my humidity around, sometimes it drops to 50, but I think 60, and sometimes it goes like up to like 79 when I'm doing dishes, because it's in the kitchen. Most of my plants are in the kitchen. Up here I don't do humidity regulation, but downstairs near my in my kitchen dining room area is where most of my plants are, and the humidity is much higher, and they like it. The verrucosum like it, and it's like usually 80 degrees most of the time, unless it's a cool day. Sometimes it's 85. Once they grew a lot more in the sphagnum moss, I'm like, okay, this is the time. I'm not sure how long it took. It felt like it took a few months, like the process of finishing propagating in water, putting them in sphagnum moss. The other reason I put them in sphagnum moss, besides getting advice from videos, was when I did put the first one from Laughing Tiger Company in soil right away, it kind of just with the soil was too heavy and whatnot, and I was nervous that if I were to put, I think I actually put it in soil a couple times, it just didn't work, but I was nervous about what would happen if I put these straight into soil after being in water so long. I wanted to kind of give them a slow transition from going fully into water, being submerged and being like, I need to survive and grow roots in water, to sphagnum moss. Okay, it's pretty moist in here. It's kind of a little bit more like soil, and it can be airy. So from that, and then going into a like chunky aeroid mix, I kind of transitioned them that way, so that they wouldn't freak out once they, or like transplant shop. I don't think I finished wrapping up talking about the plant shops, but I was really happy with the shipping. I was happy with the packaging. I was happy with the plants because these are plants that I really wanted. The springtails freaked me out from Botanicaz. But I mean, I don't know. What do you guys feel about pests when you receive plants? Like, shouldn't, like, you're inviting pests into your home, and then for me, again, with pests, I think I mentioned in a couple videos ago, keeping the situation under control, because I feel like they're inevitable. So I just, yeah. Which brings me to my first verrucosum that I received 2 days or a few days before the other two, because I just got weird and wanted the same thing. The first leaf started looking kind of spotty, and then it grew a few more leaves, and then this leaf started looking spotty, and I'm like, what's going on with these spots? I thought maybe it was a bacteria or a fungus, or was I overwatering? I don't know. I was thinking all kinds of things, and I was looking up, and all I could see with like those kind of spots was like, that's bugs or spider mites. So Heart-Shaped Leaves was talking about how Philodendron verrucosum seem to attract spider mites, which I have a few allocation. I haven't really experienced spider mites with allocation. That's what everybody talks about, or ivy, and I didn't experience spider mites with that. I experienced root rot with ivy, but not spider mites. But on my philodendron, I've been experiencing spider mites, and it was very, very strange. So sometimes you can't even see them, which I think people say a lot, but like, I did not spot a pest on my verrucosum. But I am like, what's going on? And she talked about like keeping the pest under control. And I think she mentioned spraying it with neem oil, so that made me feel a little bit more comfortable. And I mix it with distilled water. So I don't spray it with my tap water. I started using that on this verrucosum, and the new leaf popped out beautifully. I'm not seeing as many spots on the other leaf, so I think they're a pest. And then I've been spraying those back there as well. And all three of them have a new leaf, because they're vines. I mean, they keep growing leaves, so all three of them have a new leaf coming out. But the melanochrysum, the verrucosum times melanochrysum, wow, that's a grower. The verrucosum times melanochrysum grows so well. I think it's lost its first leaf. I have this weird leaf at the bottom that never unfurled, which made me nervous. Like, does it have something wrong with it? But after that, all the other leaves popped out beautifully. I never cut off that leaf. I'm still learning a lot of things, I'm not sure. It seems to really like to grow, which makes me really happy, and it's really, really pretty, and all the leaves kind of turn out different. I've already put it on a pole. I think I'm going to have to put it on a bigger pole. I can show you my TikTok video I made of putting it on a pool. This is what I mean by that. Someone told me that the dye in this is bad and it like leaks out, which I'm kind of like, I think for philodendron, these are pretty like, they're pretty good with watering. Like, you can water them a lot. If you do overwater them, they start to let out the water. They sweat the water out because it's too much for them. So you'll see like little droplets on their leaf, on their stem and whatnot. So that shows me that I overwatered it, I think. So sometimes I do that, but I try and just pay attention to the soil. At first I was using a soil meter, but as I started to like pay attention to my soil mixture, and then the type of plant, and then feeling the pot and lifting it and seeing the lightness of it, I kind of figure out from there. I do make sure to water everything once a week at least. They're pretty easygoing when it comes to water. I noticed that this beautiful verrucosum tends to curl like outward and get like real desperate when it needs water. That can happen. And I noticed that also with my Scandens cortatum, the regular one, it starts to really curl. Like pothos get kind of like floppy. Pothos, Photonia, peace lilies, they all kind of get kind of floppy when they need water, but these like curl. I haven't noticed anything ever with the melanochrysum times verrucosum. I feel like that's a really like hardy plant. I don't think there's any more to say. I feel like I've said so many things. We'll see what happens with this video once I edit it. And if you have any questions, please let me know down below. And as I say this a lot because I don't want you to forget, I am a new plant parent, a 2020 quarantine parent of plants. If you do have a philodendron, and if you do have a philodendron verrucosum, please share your wisdom with me down below in the comment section. I would love to know any advice you have. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, make sure to like it, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, and just to wrap up in conclusion, neem oil is a yes. Etsy orders, the packaging of these two Etsy shops are a yes. That's probably the best packaging ever, and I ordered a lot of plants. So neem oil, yes. Watering, easy. Growing, they're kind of, I think they're so-so. The melanochrysum grows a lot faster. And what else? Oh, humidity, I keep it around 60. They like that. The soil mixture, they do like chunky soil much more than just your average soil mixture, or even like perlite mixed with like peat moss. They like a lot of chunk in their soil. So in terracotta pots, that has been really helpful. So yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye now.